name's David Journeaux, and I'm a vocalist. Been singing for many, many years. A lot of self-taught stuff, which I think comes across in the recordings. Certain characters to my voice that aren't necessarily refined in the ways that people expect a voice to be refined in. The band is called the Kindred. We've been playing together since 2008, really, playing live under a different band name, which was Today I Caught the Plague. I don't think that's a secret for most people. Changed our name maybe about a year ago. We signed to Sumerian Records. Actually yesterday, just yesterday, we released our new album, Life and Lucidity. So excited about that.
Sorry, bro. What happened yesterday?
What happened yesterday?
You said
like the day after. Oh, yeah, we released the album yesterday, which is really exciting because we've been sitting on it for nearly a year. We recorded it, went into studio the same time last year that it got released this year. That was a roundabout way of saying we've been sitting on it for a year.
Yeah. Why the delay?
Well, it was our first release on a record label, and we obviously had a lot of business stuff to figure out, red tape and all that, and the label just wanted to release it at the right time, which made sense to us. Like, we wanted the best opportunity possible for the release. So it was pretty much just, behind the scenes stuff, keeping us held back.
Cool.
Stuff that people don't really care to hear about because it's all business and boring.
Yeah. Well, it goes into it, right?
Yeah.
The waiting and the patience and all that stuff. Something
that we weren't used to, because like when we were doing our independent releases, it was always just like a rush to get it out. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was definitely a different feeling this time around. That being said, after waiting for a year, like, we can't wait to like start writing another record.
I bet.
Yeah. So.
Being weird, and the value of weirdness, and the value of, I guess, individuality.
Yeah, and you were saying how it was coming up in value, like it was becoming. It's very apparent in the music scene for us, particularly in regards to what we're doing, because we've always pretty much done the same thing. Even starting way back before Today I Caught the Plague, when I was in a band with our old drummer Mike, called Legend Falls. We were doing the same sort of style, and back then, like, we got ignored so hard, and it's like we steadily saw it increasing in popularity, I suppose. So yeah, I've definitely seen the change in like the value of weirdness and individuality, and I think it's a good thing. As I said to you before, like, I think it invites innovation, which is always good for society as long as it's positive innovation, obviously.
Yeah, very cool. What kind of fanfare are you guys experiencing thus far? People come up to you, those who've heard your music?
It's starting a little bit. It is a new project, pretty much. It's the first album out, and we've been seeing a big rise in buzz, I guess, and people talking about us since yesterday. So I think we may start to see some more of that sort of thing. But we've had so far, like, some people giving us gifts and stuff like that. We're always happy to meet people, so I think that is respected in our audience, and it develops a good bond between ourselves and them. So I think, we might see a bit more of that sort of fanfare coming up.
Cool.
Which is great for us, obviously. We'd be happy to have it.
purpose of, I guess, redevoting yourselves to this band and getting it relaunched, bigger and stronger, I guess, is to get past some of the struggles of the past and just evolve?
Well, we've always tried to evolve, and we didn't really ever think of like this specifically as us rebranding and relaunching or anything. It was just like this was our natural progression. You know what I mean? We were kind of dormant for a while because of all the stuff we were doing back, like behind the scenes, as I mentioned before. Yeah. But we've always been just trying to, I guess, be as honest as we can with ourselves when we make music and everything we do. And I think as you grow older, you are able to be more and more honest with yourself. And so I think that's why it seems like there's been maybe a bit of an evolution in sound and the way we're approaching the industry.
Cool. Now, being honest with oneself, that's something that, I wouldn't mind exploring a little bit, because the scene that I come from, the hardcore scene, it's all about being honest with yourself. Yeah. And not faking it. Yeah. And not being insincere about things you do. If you don't like something anymore, stop doing it. Yeah. Don't sell it for a paycheck. Yeah. Don't get bought out, Mm-hmm. This might not be the hardcore scene per se that we're in tonight, but it's definitely, some manifestation of the underground.
Yeah.
Independent,
I think there's like that sentiment that runs throughout with at least a lot of bands in heavier music, right?
That's it.
And I think it's honestly a good way to live for anybody, but it's tough. It's tough for people to be really like brutally honest with themselves. Usually a lot tougher for them to be brutally honest with themselves than brutally honest with other people. Yeah. Right?
That's it. And that's I call this project Shed My Skin because I am kind of shedding my skin of the past. Just there's so much crap happened in my life.
Everybody's got it, man. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
that's for you.
Thanks. This kind of doing this helps me to kind of deal with the crap,
Well, in a roundabout way, I'm very happy to be able to help you out with that.
Yeah. That's great to be here, Yeah. Now, the last magazine that I was involved in, I had to stop doing it because I wasn't surviving. Yeah. Financially, spiritually. Yeah. It was very hard to survive. Whereas when I started the magazine, I was very much, I needed that to grow personally. Yeah. And I was able to get by financially more easily then.
Yeah. Everything I found like comes in stages, you know what I mean? Like you need something for a certain time and it's there for you, and then it starts to kind of go away, and you have to find that other thing that's going to help you progress somewhere. Yeah. It's strange how it works like that, but I guess sometimes you just got to trust in the universe, if you will, whatever you believe in.
Yeah, very well said. I mean, what do they say, that if you love something, set it free and it'll come back, kind of thing?
Something like that. If you let it go and it comes back to you, it's yours forever.
Right.
Is what they say.
Right. So
paraphrasing.
That's
obviously.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's happened here, because it was never really intentional or deliberate. It kind of just happened. Yeah. The fact that I came back to be involved in music. I've always been involved in music. I mean, I wrote for Lamb Goat for many years.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I was there from '98 till probably when I started Hard Times.
Yeah.
So I've always been involved. I needed a little break. In order to get myself hungry again, and also maybe a little more financially stable. Yeah. So it's a little more comfortable now, but still it's constant struggle, business building,
Business is tough. It doesn't matter what business you're in. Once you get to that point where it's like, oh wait, it is a business and I need to treat it like it. Yeah. It gets tough.
Sure. Yeah. And that is the end of a lot of projects and bands. Yeah. When one person wants to take it very seriously, there's other partners, they want to take it less seriously or take it in a different direction. Yeah.
Anytime you're working with someone. It probably is a little tougher in the music industry because so many people get into it with like this hobbyish kind of attitude, which is fine if that's what you want to do. If you want to do it for fun, go do it for fun. But there are obviously people who want to make a career out of it, and when you mesh the two, it obviously doesn't work out, and it happens too much. I don't think people take that like aspect of things too seriously, like making sure you're working with the right people. And a lot of people take chances on thinking like, okay, I know he's doing it as a hobby type thing, but once we start doing well, he'll probably just want to do it professionally. So that doesn't necessarily happen.
I mean, you've been through, I guess, enough in recent years, and you're not a kid anymore.
Certainly not.
You might look young.
I look very young, yeah, I know. It's going to be great when I'm 50. That's what I tell everybody.
For sure.
Yeah.
What kind of, I guess, reflections might you have on communicating with people, communication, leadership in a group, interpersonal harmony, creating the climate for interpersonal harmony? Let's explore that a bit, because that's interesting to me, and I mean, that's the basis of all relationships and all projects and everything in life, is people's ability to communicate.
Well, that's very interesting that you say that, because I've never felt like I'm a good communicator. I've never felt like I'm a good verbal communicator, like oral communicator with people. I just don't feel like I get out exactly what I mean to say a lot of the time. It's misunderstood, which is why I get so into writing lyrics, because I feel like once I am able to put something down on paper, it feels like a lot more real and honest, and go back to what we were talking about. So yeah, in terms of communication, I don't think I have much to say about it, because I don't feel like I'm anything close to an expert on it. But in terms of leadership, obviously, in respect to the miscommunication aspect of things, for myself, it's much more of a lead by example type thing. So I'll personally will always just do things, get things done, and make sure things happen, and it gets the ball rolling for other people. The other guys in the band are better at communicating, so if they have stuff going on that they need to lead for, they'll talk about it and get it done, which is good. Interpersonal harmony is a big one. It's a very big one. I was studying Buddhism for a while when I was recording the latest record, and there were a lot of times where I was feeling really good, like in terms of like internal harmony, and I was doing a lot of meditation, and I had some really interesting moments that came along with it. I won't get too in depth with, but it's just related to nature and synchronicity and all that sort of stuff. But I got away from it because I was just, as you were kind of alluding to earlier, kind of struggling to survive.
I grew up to two parents, and I thought that it was going to be good. I thought things would level out. I mean, that was never around. There was a lot of struggles in the household, and then every year after like age of 2, my ideal world was pretty much just shattered, year in, year out. So now, 30-some years later, it's like it's harder and harder to hold on to that dream of creating a perfect, perfect life or whatever, and then you try to like do it right when you become an adult.
Yeah.
And then you find out you come into the same issues and the same quagmires as your parents did.
Yeah.
And you're like, geez.
It almost makes you, or at least it makes me, just wish that I was leading a simpler life. You know what I mean? And just making life as simple as possible, which goes well in line with the like ideals of Buddhism that I was studying at the time. And I'd been reading more Buddhism and stuff, and like the Pali Canon, the actual scriptures of it, and it still holds a lot of great stuff, I feel, for me, but it's not resonating as strongly with me as it used to. But there is some interesting stuff that's being said about the idea of pursuing happiness in the modern world. And it's not so much interesting, to be honest. It's I don't know how to put it. It's almost a little pessimistic, but people like certain Buddhists and stuff say like it would be absolutely near impossible for anyone to attain a level of like nirvana if that was something that you believe was possible. You know what I mean? In modern world, because we're just so obsessed with everything. Like, there's so much desire for. It's just there's just too much in the world. We've gotten too far away from ourselves.
Yes.
And there's no sort of support system that would allow us to kind of get back to that. It's kind of like what they were talking about, and I can't say I disagree.
Yeah. No, that definitely talks to me as well. I mean, I would love to reduce my wants and needs to a handful.
Yeah.
But then my life wouldn't look like it does.
Yeah.
You know, and then things would have to change dramatically.
Drastically. So drastically, your life would have to change.
Yeah.
And chances are, at this age, you have to. Well, you're probably already too entrenched into modern normal society that you can't make a change without doing anything like extremely drastic, right? Which I don't think is a good thing for anyone. It doesn't end well.
Gradual change is better. So,
yeah, it's true.
For example, what I do is hot yoga.
That's good.
So for the last 3 years, I started initially from my knees because I tore up knees from hockey.
Oh, okay.
And once the knees were fixed, I started feeling my brain and the rest of my body getting fixed. I was like, oh, maybe I was, worn out and scarred elsewhere than just in my knees, and hot yoga helped with that.
That's good.
Quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, it has a very calming effect. And once the calming effect happens, you can think more clearly. Hit a hot yoga class tonight because it's my Wednesday class, but I'm actually gonna skip the class to film you guys. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
It's cool. I'll just take a couple more drinks to numb the pain. In the absence.
Well, I don't recommend that necessarily.
True. Yeah, I have a personal formula,
Hey, it's all all you, man.
Couple of brews. I'll probably film a couple of the bands. Do what I need to do, and then maybe go to the gym later and lift some weights or something like that.
That's good, get the stress out.
For sure.
That's another thing I haven't been able to do as of late, which was always good. It's just exercise in general. Obviously, it gets rid of a lot of anxieties and stuff if anything's gotten to you.
It's very important to exercise.
It is, yeah, and we have so little time for it. Again, in modern society, unless you're generally well off or you're leading a more simple life than a musician is, right? Some people can do it, but I know personally for me, like I have the band and I have my graphic design business, and between the two of them, it's just like non-stop work. But that's the life that I live in order to survive.
Well, maybe we can keep in touch for the graphic design stuff.
For sure, yeah.
I'd
be more than happy to help out with anything that you need.
I have all kind of projects going on. The magazine's kind of low maintenance.
Yeah.
But more, paid contracts for my film company and stuff like that.
Yeah. Anything you need, man.
You never know. Making friends in music, and it's a real place to meet. So.
Yeah, and you meet a lot of different characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, last thing to say. Apparently, the bus driver for Between the Buried and Me, the hardcore dude.
Hans.
It's Hans, right?
Yeah.
Mushmouth.
What is that?
His old band's called Mushmouth.
Oh, I didn't even know he played.
One of the fucking craziest bands, and he's written some of the craziest fucking riffs.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna track him down after and do a Mushmouth interview.
That'd be great. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that.
Tell him that the dude doing interviews, who used to run Hard Times, I'm sure he's seen my old magazine.
Yeah.
Huge Mushmouth fan.
Okay.
Tell him to describe his band Mushmouth They changed the name to Out to Win.
Out to Win?
Yeah, so they were Mushmouth from like 94 until 2000. And they put out 2 full lengths, 3 demos. Heavy as fuck, man. Heavy as shit. And then they changed the name to Out to Win.
Out to Win.
Yeah, because upon Jamie Jass's advice from Hatebreed, because he wanted to sign them, so he's like, he's gonna get a more serious name or whatever. They broke up soon after that, and now they're called Wisdom and Chains. It's a hardcore band.
Oh, okay.
Go Wisdom and Chains, like old school hardcore, you know. Anyways, just wanted to mention hardcore. The bloodline of hardcore runs through, you know.
Yeah, man. Music in general.
Yeah, that's it.
It's all intertwined.
Yeah. So look, thanks a lot for your time, bro.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, very nice talking to you.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Anything we could do to help you guys out, you know, it's our pleasure. We appreciate hardworking guys like you.
We appreciate it very much.
Sweet, man. Have a good show.
Yeah, thanks very much, Mike.